Sup everyone, this is Draco Evolve. Liverpool versus Manchester United match preview, including Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's update on Bruno Fernandes and his press conference, including my predicted lineup and scoreline. Let's jump straight in. As always guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you sub in and hit the like button and turn the notification on, as I'll be updating you guys on all latest transfer news, match reactions, match previews, reviews. This is what this channel is about, so let's get cracking. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just had his press conference. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some updates around Bruno Fernandes. We're going to do our predicted lineup and predicted formation for the Liverpool game, and obviously look at some of the stats that's going in. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out and said a bit of update around Rashford. So we've seen Rashford getting injured against Wolves, and he admitted that in his press reaction video that he took a bit of a risk with Rashford because they wanted to go through, and it has backfired, and it has backfired massively. So this is what he had to say. The United boss admitted his decision to bring Rashford off the bench during the 1-0 FA Cup win, third round replay win against Wolves, backfired after United striker suffered a back injury. Solskjaer said, "I'm not going to hold my breath. I was probably think he wouldn't be ready 48 hours, so let's see." So there you go, a bit of update around Marcus Rashford. We knew that he was a huge doubt for the game. He tried to carry on. He took a bit of a knock during the game, and he has gone off injured. He lasted less than 10 minutes after coming on as a sub, and that's potentially, I mean, I don't want to blame fully on Ole. It wasn't his fault, you know, you can't foresee it, but I think I'll blame the coaching and Ole eventually over the months where he has literally played Rashford to the ground. I mean, this guy has played nearly all the games for us. Even when he was on the bench, he came on, and that goes back to the board where we needed a striker. We had Lukaku being sold. We've only got Martial and Rashford as our recognised starting strikers. Obviously, we got Greenwood in the bench coming through, but he's not a first team striker. And you look at Erling Haaland, apparently we have missed out on him, and signing someone like him would have allowed, say, someone like Rashford and Martial to rotate around. We had a huge injury with Martial earlier in the season. He has recovered. We got now Rashford, who's potentially going to be out for a long time. And significant thing is that him being injured, probably God knows how many weeks, it can affect what you bought him in for Wolves game, for whatever amount of minute that he's expected to play, for in an FA Cup. Now it can affect our Premier League running for the top 4. It can affect our Europa League running, because Rashford, to be honest, he has stepped up. He has scored quite a lot of goals this season so far for us. He's been phenomenal for us this season. Not throughout the whole season, but certainly in the recent months. And losing him is a blow. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Rashford is actually out for the Liverpool game, or is it some sort of mind game by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying that we'll see, 48 hours, so let's see? So he didn't totally deny it. He's just saying that he's a bit doubtful. So bit around Bruno Fernandes. You know, most of my videos and as all of the United Fan Channel videos is not gonna be complete without Bruno Fernandes. Latest update, latest transfer news of Bruno Fernandes is that Ole has this to say. He was directly asked about Bruno Fernandes, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer kind of refused to kind of get drawn into the saga, although he didn't deny it. That's the most important thing. I mean, we've seen it in the past with many managers, depending on what level you are, they either deny it or don't accept it, but kind of play the game a little bit. So he has this to say: "I can't tell you about any players that play for other teams. No," he said, "we're focusing on this team at the moment, and that's it." And when asked about the latest on Ashley Young's future, we know that Ashley Young has agreed, we have agreed to give Ashley Young to Inter Milan, and I have posted it on my YouTube community tab, so do go and check it out when it broke yesterday. So it's a good way to kind of engage with myself as well, because not all the time I can create videos, because news come out on various times. So have a look at my Twitter as well at Draco Evolve. Is gonna be on the description below, or on the pinned comment section. Do go and have a, give me a follow. He's got this to say. He's 35 in the summer, and if he gets a 2-year contract somewhere, I think it's up to him to take that. We were ready to offer that. He has been a good servant, captain, won trophies, league cups, but we've got players coming through, and when Ashley's head and mindset was on a move, so why not now? So there you have it. Ashley Young wanted to move. There were reports coming out that he had walked out of the training camp. I don't think that would happen. I think that's too much of Ashley Young is quite loyal in that sense. He is a club captain. To lose a club captain in the middle of the season shows there's a deeper problem beyond what we see as fans, and that needs to be addressed, and it's caused by the owners straight up. We have ex-players, ex-managers coming out saying that Manchester United are being run like a business club rather than a footballing club. And Ashley Young, one of the things that I've always said in my previous videos as well, that you cannot doubt. Yes, you can doubt his abilities, but you cannot doubt his commitment. That guy has given everything for the shirt every single time he's on the field. So apparently we have offered him a 2-year contract. When Ole said we were ready to offer that. Personally, for me, he's been done for years. I don't think we should have offered him a year's contract, but it has been confirmed that we have offered him a 2-year contract. So to keep him until the age of 37. I don't think that's a good business for United. We got Brandon Williams coming through, but now we are in a position that we have no backup, and that is a sign. That is a worry, and that creates an immediate gap again in the squad. We know there's gaps on the striker, midfield position. Now we've got a gap on the left back position because Luke Shaw's out injured. It's just Brandon Williams, who's a youth player, and Ashley Young. There's no backup on the right side. You got Wan-Bissaka. That lot's out injured. So it creates a lot of bad sort of lineup selection headaches for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his coaching staff. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Ashley Young should have stayed until the end of the season, or do you think it was best for him to depart despite the fact that we were going to be short? So that's the latest around that, and a bit of news around Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's new captain. So we know that Ashley Young is pretty much gone. Harry Maguire has been named Manchester United's new captain. So this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said about Harry Maguire. Harry has been wearing the captain's armband and he will keep wearing it. He's come in and been a leader in the group. I've been impressed by his leadership skills. Everything about him tells me he's a leader. He's part of a group that we've had that have been leading this young group. So again, we don't see what's going on in the background. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come out and said, I still believe that Harry Maguire is probably a year away from being a leader. I mean, he's only been at the club for like 6 months or something like that. And to be given the captain's armband, it's a bit of a rash move in my opinion. But then again, you're looking on the flip side, who else is the captain? You look at David De Gea, who's come out and recently, in his last sort of press conference interview, he's come out and said he doesn't know what's happening in the club. This is the worst he's been since he's been at the club. And he's been taken off the captaincy straight away. That's all his ruthlessness, but also a bit of naivety. Because I think David De Gea would have been a good captain for the time being. For the remainder of the season, give him the captain's armband, get Harry Maguire fully embedded in the team, and then make him the captain. But then again, it can be a situation where Harry Maguire steps up to the plate big time, which we all know he's capable of. He just needs probably a couple of goals to score. The reason why I say for a defender a couple of goals is because he's had chances where any defender would have scored and he hasn't scored, and that's the frustration part. But there you go, Manchester United's new captain is confirmed to be Harry Maguire. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. So there you go, that's the pretty much pretty much the United press conference from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He went on to talk about the front three. Obviously, we had he was here when Ronaldo, Tevez, Wayne Rooney. Wow, do you guys remember that? That's a lineup that I would love to have right now. But I mean, personally for me, you got the likes of Rashford, Greenwood, and Martial. Them front three, I think it's going to be phenomenal going in the future. However, I think we do need a backup striker so that we can rotate these guys around, because injuries can happen, fatigue can happen. You're playing 50-60 games plus per season. You need a bit of a break, right? And especially when we're not changing formations, you need a break. But looking at this front three, I think it's a phenomenal front three, but I just think we need to add a bit of another striker to the mix to be able to rotate these guys. So that's it. That's pretty much Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference for Liverpool versus Manchester United. He was asked about Bruno Fernandes' transfer update. He was asked about who's the captain of Manchester United, and he was asked about Marcus Rashford. Now we're gonna get into the bit of an interesting part. Forget the colours. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. Hope you guys can see. So, oh no, that's too big. There we go. There we go. That's perfect. So I think we're gonna go for a 5-3-2 formation, because we have been successful with Liverpool in the last game, which we'll talk about later on. I think the keeper's going to be De Gea, is no doubt. Defense is going to be a 3. I think it's going to be Maguire, Lindelof, and the last one is a bit of a thinker, because we know Phil Jones is available, Rojo is semi-available, Tuanzebe is a doubt, but I reckon is Phil Jones is going to play. Now I reckon he's going to play in the middle. I think he's not going to play on the right or left of that midfield defense, because he's got too much mistakes on him, and City are strongest in my opinion on the wings. You look at Mahrez, Sterling, people like that, Bernardo Silva, they all kind of come in. Not City, sorry, what am I talking about? Liverpool, God, City, what am I talking about? But you look at, anyway, you look at Liverpool, I think they're strongest in the wings, because Salah and Mane, Trent and Robertson, they just bomb down the wings and create little spaces for people like Firmino to drop in. I think Phil Jones staying on the left or right side of that defensive 3, he's got a mistake in him. I reckon Ole's going to play him in the middle. But who else can we play? There is nobody else we can play. Ideally for me, I wouldn't play Phil Jones, but we have no backup. Everyone's injured. You know, Rojo's pretty much injured. Tuanzebe is injured. Who else do we have? I don't see any other defenders, and that's where we go back to depth, right? We do not have depth. We lost Chris Smalling. We knew Phil Jones was crap. We knew Rojo was injury prone. Bailly is injured. Let's not even count him. I'm not even talking about him. So you've only got Tuanzebe, who's not really, he's not really experienced enough to deal with people like Salah and Mane. I'm sure he will be in the future if he gets enough game time, but it is what it is. This is my back 3. I think on the right side it's going to be obviously Bissaka, and on the left side, Luke Shaw being injured, it's going to be Brandon Williams. Obviously stats were going around the last 7 games that Brandon Williams started. I think we kept 6 clean sheets, which is a good thing to have, but Liverpool will be too strong for that. I think we're going to go for midfield 3. It pretty much picks itself given our injury. And no, I don't think Bruno Fernandes will not play. I think he's going to play in the Benfica match. There were reports that valuations were kind of very close to agreement, but I think he's going to end up playing today's derby, which I'll be keeping an eye out on. But we're going to have Matic in the middle. I think he's going to hold Fred and Pereira on either side. If I can spell Pereira's name wrong. I always spell his name wrong. But I think that's going to be our midfield 3. I think energy of Fred and Pereira will be important. Matic is probably going to sit around here. He's probably going to sit. And that's probably what we're going to go with, because we are playing the best team in the world, in my opinion. And it's hard for me to say, but they are so good at the moment. They're getting wins and results. They're so ahead. They're winning trophies. The experience is... They press hard. Up front, it's going to pick itself. I think it's going to be Martial. Obviously, it's going to be Martial. Oh, that's what Martial and Greenwood. I think James. I'll be very surprised if James plays. If in fact, where does he play? Where does he play in this formation? Unless Ole goes to a 4-2-3-1, which will be a bit of a suicide, having 2 midfielders as there with Liverpool's 3 midfielders, where it's just going to overwhelm them. I think it's going to be that is going to be the case, and I think we're going to hold and hit them on the break. We don't have that much space because pace of it, so I'm not sure how it'll work. But this is the formation Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used against Liverpool when we drew against them in Old Trafford earlier in the season, and we played bloody very well. But I think Rashford was phenomenal that game, and potentially Rashford is not even playing in this game. So this is my predicted lineup for the game and the predicted players in the positions. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who am I missing? Who do you think will suit better? I know it's going to be tough for you guys because there's nobody else beyond that 11. I mean, who do we have on the bench? Lingard, James. I can't think of anyone else. But this is my predicted lineup for the match. Looking at the club record, so Last time we lost against, we haven't. It was a lot of draws, isn't it? Last time we lost against them was 2 years ago, which was 3-1, and that's when Mourinho lost his job, right? Last two meetings we drew 0-0 and we drew 1-1 again in October 2009 this season. But you can see across the record that despite this one, the game has been very tight, and I think it's gonna be a tight game. Now, if United, my predicted scoreline is actually going to be 2-1 Liverpool. I think Liverpool are too strong. They are showing why they're the best club in the world at the moment. The players are phenomenal, and the system is awesome. They've had a bit of a break as well, and I think with our sort of thin squad, I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle. 2-1 I think is going to be a scoreline. I think if Liverpool score early on, then it can be a landslide. As long as United are in the game by half time, whether it's 1-0 down or 1-0 up or 1-1, I think we've got a chance of getting something out of the game. But with Liverpool in such rich vein of form, they'll want to win this more than us, because they haven't won the league in 30 years. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was asked about that in his press conference. Will Manchester United become that Liverpool not winning the league in 30 years? And he did come out and say that we're putting plans in place that this is not the case. I don't see us winning the league in the near future, but I don't think we're going to go 30 years without a league. The game has totally changed since then. But Liverpool for me is the best club in the world. I've said it a few times in the videos already, as much as it pains me to say. They have players like Mane, Salah, I'm thinking about City all the time, who are in rich vein of form. They have two of the best fullbacks in the world. Definitely the best centre back in the world, which is Van Dijk. And I think they're not going to roll us over, as you can see historically, apart from the 3-1 loss, which Mourinho got the sack for. A lot of these games here, they're very close games. You know, not many goals were going in, and I think it's going to be a tight game, but it's going to be a 2-1 to me. I would love it if we beat them 2-1. But if we play like how we played in the beginning of the season, where we drew 1-1, we can get something out of that game for sure. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is the predicted scoreline for yourself? Do you think Manchester United will get a result at Anfield? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But anyways, guys, this is the match preview of Liverpool versus Manchester United, including Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference reaction. I'll be back with the match review, and as always, if things transfer-wise break, I'll come back alive. But I hope we have a good game this Sunday, and I'll catch you guys in the next upload. Stay far away.